Live. What's up, John? How you doing? Okay. Now we're back. Okie dokie. We are rocking. That's not good. That's okay. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Welcome in. Hope y'all had a good weekend. All right. We're good to go. What's up, Sando? Hey, Mike. How are you? Okay, who do we got? We got John. Take your time. Tom, what's up? Heyo. How are you? Bubba, what's going on? Philip, Colleen Glass, KCH, how are you? Okay, tonight we're going to make a little bit of a goblet, but different than normal. It is not going to be traditional by any sense. Going to make it a little bit different. I've been wanting to do this design for a while, so. There you go, Red Squeak. How you doing? All right, let's get this trimmed. I think I need to add some water to my water bucket. I just noticed it's low. I just cleaned my bench, so I noticed it's really low. There we go. Okay, did that just pop off the rod? Yep. Sure did. That happens. Okay. Pop. So I'm going to trim these ends before we even begin, because I know I'm going to need it. Double audio? Shouldn't be. Let me check. Oh. All right. Let's see here. Oop. Yeah, it shouldn't be double audio. Should be actually pretty good audio. Yeah, I say it shouldn't be. I've got everything muted except for this mic. Okay, so we're going to do a goblet. I'm going to do this one different than I have ever before. We're going to do something I haven't done before, which is always fun. It will not have a traditional foot. So we're going to take that and create something totally different for a wine goblet, kind of. I'm going to make the whole thing solid, and then we'll put the goblet top up there. So it won't have like a foot, a middle, and a goblet. It's just going to be base goblet. All right, last little bit we're going to trim, and then we're going to get started. This one will be in uranium, electrum. I don't know what else. Some black, definitely, and probably slime. It's definitely going to be cool as hell, though. Yeah, this one's going to be cool as hell. You guys want to... This will be a different goblet. Not going to be traditional, that's for sure. Goblet market is dead, just wasting your time and money. Maybe it's dead for you. That's great for me. I don't know what you're doing, but I'm good with it. Yeah, I'm rocking it. So if that's, I'm sorry if it's not working for you, but it works for me. There we go. I'm having a great weekend. By the way, we do have the hummingbirds up on the website, and they are actually doing, we have a bird in a box, flock of birds, I think. I think Stephanie named it after like the Hitchcock movie. Can these be bought? Absolutely, Kelly. You bet they can. Got to pull your own glass in Alaska. That's awesome. How's everybody doing? Who said that? Grit and Grace, how are you? Good to see you. Nope, Guy Fieri looks like me. I've had this look way longer. He's just more popular. Okay, let's get this fused in a little. Let's grab this here. There we go. Yeah, so we did put the hummingbirds. It's like mystery hummingbird box. They're at a reduced price, but you get a random color, including uranium ones, possibly. Kelly, just send us a message at thefieryguy.com. So take everything up above the fiery guy, just add .com to it, and send us a message. I don't know if Stephanie put any of the goblets up, because they usually sell pretty fast. Yeah, the hummingbird grab bag. They're a good deal. What's up, Sean? How are you? Good to see you. Okay. So we got a little color on here. Let's go ahead and there we go. I think I'm going to mix it up a little. I don't want it exactly that rich. But I know we're on the last of our drill mix here. So we're going to have to drill mix this up a little to get the color I really want. So I end up using a cordless drill to get the color all blended. Works out very well. The fanboy started early. I know, Rich. I know, John. It's all right, though. It's going to happen. Fanboys are out. So this helps mix everything up, just makes it a little easier to produce the color that I want. Essentially, this color was ultra rich, meaning it was very, very dim. We're diluting it down right now with clear, so it thins it out a little. And that should be good right about there. Don't want to go too thin with it. Okay. Gonna thin that out. How's everybody doing tonight? Hopefully you had a great weekend. All right, so we're gonna take this. We're gonna thank you, Big Dave. Appreciate you. All right, we're gonna separate this portion. Then we're gonna add the uranium on here. We're gonna start adding a little bit of uranium to this. See if I can pop this down here. There. Oh my God. There we go. Blizzard just started there. Yeah, we're making a goblet. It'll be a fun one too. There we go. We're gonna take a little uranium glass and pop it on there. Yep, we are definitely doing goblet. Different one though. Oh no, Dale. Well, we'll see if we can't help you out. Okay, let's get this fused on. This is a really nice uranium color. This one, I don't see a lot of people using this version of it, but to me, it's one of the better looking colors of uranium. It's got a little more like olive green to it as opposed to that bright neon green. Personally, I like the way this looks, but that's my preference. Okay, we're going to come down here. We're going to blend it in. Okay, so we got two colors on there now. Can we make dragons? Yep, sure can. All right, I'm going to show you real quick while we're kind of working on this. So my glasses use a lens in it called didymium. Some people refer, it's also known as like a boro view. And it filters out certain light spectrums in there so you can see, man, I got to really clean that. That's bad. You bring it down here, you can see we kind of eliminate a lot of that flame that happens in there. Oh, that's bad. That thing is really dirty. Okay. We'll make it happen, man. Okay, so now we got dual colors going on. We're going to grab a little clear and go on top of that uranium. And the reason I like doing this is it kind of magnifies the uranium underneath it. It allows the uranium to kind of spread out, but not be so much uranium in there. Because the stuff is super expensive. So if I could get the same effect by kind of magnifying a little clear on top of it, it's a good idea. Keeps the cost down. Add a little heat to it. What's up, Liz? How you doing, Groves? How are you? What's up, Rob? Yeah, this one will be a little different. This goblet will definitely be a little bit on the different side. I like different. All right, so we just have to build up. It's going to take a lot of glass to build up. So this is going to be a big solid base for it. And then we're just going to attach a goblet top to a massive solid base. I think it'll prevent it from getting broken. Definitely will eliminate the possibility of it. But I like the look of it in my head. So we're going to try it that way. So we just got to build a bunch of glass up. That's the chore right now. going to detach here. Definitely want to keep that separate. Okay, let's let this settle down for a second before I start going too hard on it. Do I sneak my work? What does that mean? Not quite sure I get that one. Okay, let's go ahead and take this down. All right, we definitely have to add more uranium on here. This isn't going to be complete without a total crazy uranium look to it. We're going to use the different uranium on the other side, though. We're going to use a little bit of the brighter version. So it's going to have two different uraniums running through there. Is it technically Pyrex? No. Pyrex is a brand, not a type. It's the type of glass that Pyrex is, but no, it's not Pyrex itself. Yeah, Pyrex is, a lot of people think Pyrex is a type of glass, but it's actually just a brand of glass, and it's awesome. You know, that's what started all this in lamp working pretty much with this style, but yeah. All right, so we're just building up the second batch of uranium over here. This is going to be a heavy one. All these projects sound really good when you start them, and then you start getting into it, and you're like, oh my God, why did I choose to do that? Okay, we're going to take this down. So that's the second wave of uranium in there. Going to separate it here. No, I don't make any glass cars. No. All right, let me get this kind of balanced out in here. Then we're going to grab some more clear and come on to the other side and get that fused in there. Really nice. Then we'll start forming up the base. Right now, I just want to get this built in here. There we are. Okay, so from here, we're going to be parking quite a bit in. We'll primarily be encasing all of this and then flipping it around, swirling, doing all that fun stuff. You know, the weather's not too bad, Rob. It's hanging in there. Okay, here we go. So we're just going to build a lot of clear around this color, kind of encasing it. Then we're going to flip it around, create a little spiral in there, and form the base for the goblet. It's definitely got to make sure I get this thing big enough. Okay, still got to go. This is going to get heavy. That's definitely going to get heavy. Bill, thank you so much. Yeah, the mods are pretty on it. What time is it? I think it's 6:30. All right, we still got a little bit to go. I got to build this a little bit bigger. Then we'll stretch it, pull it, twist it, manipulate it. Hey, what's up, Steven? How are you? We are going to bring back the mystery grab bags. They sold out pretty fast. As soon as we stack stuff up, we will put it out there for sure. Yeah, so the mystery grab bags are basically from when I do my live streams, random items that I make during the live stream that aren't like set in stone items. Just random stuff, and we pop it out there. Thank you, Bale. I agree, Bale. A little Illuminati and some Ion. A little both. I already used all my citrine that was in there. I think there's some 1940s stuff in there too. I'm not for sure. We were using uranium glass from like the 30s or 40s last Friday night. Yeah, Friday night. That was cool. That stuff came out really good. All right, we're almost there. We're actually at a point where I can start to even the two sides out. I got to make this one side I'm tapping here a little bit bigger. We're going to switch it around, make the other side a little bit bigger. And then we're going to take it apart, stretch it out, twist this all up into a spiral, and then create a little base for the goblet. I may have to do this in two parts though. All right, let's take it down for a second. Get this sucker melting in. I got to add a little bit to this side, balance it out. Then we should be able to start shaping it. Yeah, just a little bit over here. I think I have to get my bigger mold out. Maybe. All right, still pushing. Yeah, yeah, I have a bigger mold. He used to make any size you'd want, pretty much. I thought about getting a mold to make like 4 to 5 inch marbles, but after I made the 4.5 inch one, I said no, I don't need that because I won't do another one. It was too damn hot. Thank you again, Bale, for the super chat. I appreciate that. Okay, I should have enough here. I'm going to separate it and kind of use the flame just to kind of get this thing to melt down. We just have to get this melted down. Right now it kind of has this ice cream cone look, as you can see right there. So that's the kind of ice cream cone look. Dun, dun, dun. Just in case I need it. Actually, I could park that right here. Be a better spot. Okay, we're almost set where I can kind of squish this down a little. Then we're going to switch up the axis of this. So we can create a little spiral in here. And then we'll start forming this into a base for the goblet. Let me bring it to this side. I'm going to need to marble it just a little. Kick it on. A little bit more. Need to squish it a little bit more. There we go. That's what I needed. So we just created a little pointy part here, but I needed to get this gap fixed up. There's a big old gap in there. Unknown, thank you very much. I appreciate you subscribing. Joshua, thank you for the jewels. I appreciate you. We just had to squish it a little. So we got some uranium. We got the glass kind of shimmering in there. So it's got like a little sparkle to it. See if I can pick it up on the side view. Might be able to get a little bit of that shimmer showing. there. So you can, oop. So we got a little bit of that shimmer shining in there. So it looks very metallic-y. All right, a little bit of, I gotta balance this side out a little bit. Then we should be able to split it, twist it. Right there. A lot of work into this one. Yeah, the sparkle's beautiful. And it sparkles on both sides, so that's the beauty of it. So we're just going to add a little bit to this. Just to even the two sides out, and then we're going to reattach these rods in the opposite side. So where it looks real flat, like the sharp edges, we're going to attach the rods there. After we attach it there, we're going to stretch it out, elongate it a little. And then we're going to compress it back together. And when we compress it back together, it creates a little spiral in there. And then we're going to shape it for the goblet bottom. My idea is to kind of create a little triangle or cone shape for the bottom. So like a little pyramid underneath it. But I want to have a spiral leading all the way up to it, up to the goblet. Now, if it doesn't look tall enough, or if I don't like the way it completely looks, we'll take and make a separate marble. Pop a marble in between there so it kind of has some balance. But I want to see how it looks first without. I think I'd prefer it without a marble, but if it doesn't look right, we'll put a marble in there. What's up, Arkansas? Yeah, the spirals should be pretty amazing, to be honest. I'm a huge proponent of spirals. I love them. So anyway, now we just gotta melt it down a little bit. Everything's going good. Thank you guys for asking. We got Tennessee in here and Maine. How are you, Daisy girl? What's up? All right, a little bit more. See, we kind of got it. Almost looks like a UFO, right? See, it kind of has that UFO look. But definitely don't forget to go check out the bird mystery birds. I think Stephanie titled it "Flock of Birds," paying tribute to the Hitchcock movie on thefieryguy.com. So it's mystery bird. You're going to get one of the birds on display. We have 30 of them available. They are random colors. Some are uranium, some are just unique colors, some are one-off unique color builds. But it's a good chance to get a cool hummingbird. And it makes it really neat. And you never know what you're going to get. Other than it's a hummingbird. But yeah, you could get a uranium version, you could get a sparkle version, you could get a unique one-off color version. I think she displayed all 30 of them. All right, last little bit here. Let's get this rounded out. We're pretty close. Hey, L to the B, how are you? What's up from Pennsylvania? All right, just a tiny bit more here. All right, we're pretty even here. I'm going to bring this out to the side view. While it's kind of cooling a tiny bit, we'll try and pop in. You can definitely see that color, that reflective color. Now this is the other side as well, so you can see it's got a reflective color through it. All those little bubbles will disappear. And then there's the little color streak right through there. Okay, this is where we're going to switch it up. I'm missing all the fanboy chat. Maybe attach it here. I hope this snaps off easy. Is it gross? I didn't even get to see it. You guys are so fast. All right, should be good. Ooh, it popped off easy. That was nice. All right, I just have to clean that little spot right there at that little punchy mark. But you can definitely see that shimmer starting to happen with the glass. Both sides here. And let me trim this up a little. Just send me a message, Daisy Girl. What day is your birthday? Wednesday? We could do it Wednesday. Perfectly fine if you're going to be on. Okay, so this is the next step. We got to take this and we're going to shrink it down a little bit. We're going to elongate it. In order to do that, I'm going to try and melt this up a little, get it started in the middle. Just let it gravity drip for a minute. Or at least get the gravity started on it. This doesn't feel long enough. So we're going to attach another section right there. We're going to heat it primarily in the middle. Do this section, pull it apart a little bit, and then collapse it back together. And then once we start collapsing it back together, we're going to form kind of like a little pyramid look, even though it'll be more of a cone shape. I call it a pyramid, but it has no sides. But this will be the base for a goblet. Totally different than normal. Very heavy base. Shouldn't be tipsy at all. Nothing wrong with goblets like the one in front of you and the one over here that have the traditionally long stems in the middle. But I just like doing stuff different every once in a while. So we're going to create the different. But this is definitely taking a minute to get the core heated up. Although we're getting there now, I can feel it kind of starting to bend. All right, here we go. You know what? We may have a change of plans. I kind of like that. That would make a cool center part for a wine glass. But we can do that another time. Let's stick with the game plan. Yeah, it looks like an eyeball. I call it the dragon eye. All right, let's get this compressed in. Actually, I do have a different idea. This may actually look really cool. Huh. I might try and change it just a little bit. All right, let me see what we got going on. I can change it at the last second, but I think I have a good idea here. All right, we're going to separate this. I may need this later. So I'm going to put that off to the side, and I'm going to use the remainder of this. Okay. No, hands don't get hot. All right, let's try and build a massive base for this. A, so it's wide enough, and B, it doesn't fall over. Just going to keep going. Should be about another inch of this rod on here, and we should be good. I got a little wacky. All right, I was going to smooth all this out, but I kind of like the twist in it. So we kind of got a little spiral twist going. I'll try and pull it on the side cam. I kind of like the texture. I was going to smooth it out, but halfway through it, it just has this little texture to it. We'll pull it a little tighter up at the top. But you can see all the uranium popping through. We'll pull it a little tighter up at the top. Liking that. There. It's getting a little too bright. Make an image adjustment on the fly. I think that's better. Okay. Let's tighten this up a little. So we'll try and tighten it up a little, pull it up. It's a little fat in the middle. Now we just have to take some time, shape it out. All right, we're just manipulating it a little bit now. All right, a little bit more. And that's where I want, right about there. Leave a little bit of texture on there. I'm going to separate right here. So we have the little pyramid. So this is going to get the goblet part attached to it. So this will have the goblet attached. It'll be super solid. And we'll have a really nice uranium spiral going through there. Looks goofy until we get the goblet on there. Gonna look totally goofy until we get goblet on. So we got to taper this thing down, get it close, attach, and hopefully it stays straight. That's going to be the hard part, keeping it straight. What's up, Big Irv? How you doing, man? Good to see you. I'm glad to see you on here. Appreciate you. Let's grab a drink real quick, though. God damn, that's hot. That's hot. All right, let's get this fixed up. Taper this down a little. I don't need that much flame. This part's going to be a little slow because I got to be really careful with this. I got to heat just the stem. I can't really heat the goblet itself. I'll bring the camera in really close when we go to do the full assembly. Okay, we should be good. Let's punch it in. Not that close. What's up, Sparkling Diva? How you doing? All right, let's get this assembled. Got to move it just a little bit. Big Earth, thank you. I don't consider, well, I consider I know what I'm doing, but I learned a long time ago. I had a really famous artist from back in the day. When I met him, he was like an idol for me too, aside from my mother's work. And I said, "Hey, I'm a glass artist too." And he was a, you know, old guy compared to me at the time. And he looked at me and said, "No, you're not." And I was kind of taken aback for a second. And he said, "Only people that get this that see your work get to call you an artist. You don't get to call yourself an artist." And it kind of stuck with me, so I don't really use that term too often. All right, let's detach. So I don't really try to use the term artist too often. But I consider myself skilled at this. Not average. And we're going to create a little bit of a dip in there. There we go. All right, I think that is good. There it is, completed. We'll bring it out and show it later. Yeah, it's just a little different. Yeah, like I said, it's just a little different of a goblet. It'll look cool when it cools off. When it cools off. Yeah, that didn't sound right. It should look good when it cools off. Unfortunately, it was a quarter inch above my kiln height, so I had to lay it sideways. That part kind of sucked. Bring that back. But I like the shape. I like that triangle shape going up to it. Okay, let's knock out a couple hummingbirds. I'll promote the little hummingbird guys we got going on. So we do have some hummingbirds that are up on the website. There's not Brit. So we're going to make a few birdies. And these will be included in, I'll probably make them in the mystery box. So everything you see tonight will probably be part of the mystery box hummingbird setup, because we'll have some odd colors. I'm sorry. Damn it, lost my breath there for a second. All right, let's make a couple birdies. So this is a lot less, this will take a lot less time. We're like 6-7 minutes into these. So if you want to see something completed from start to finish, this is the item to watch. They take about 6 or 7 minutes. All right, we're going to take this out. We're going to roll it into this glass called frit. Frit is a ground up glass, like a ground up sea salt. And it just kind of brings it in chunky monkey style. Let's pop in a close view on this. Let's bring it in just a little, right about there. Oop, too far. Sorry. This way you can kind of see a little better. So that is the frit. It's very, very organically looking like sea salt. Let's do a black tail and wings. I haven't done black in a long time. Maybe we'll fume it, although that wrecks the silver, the glitter of it. All right, so we melt it in. And we grab a little bit back here for the tail portion, and we're going to pull it down. So we're going to make the tail first. Let me adjust this. Flame's kind of torquing me off. There we go. That's better. So yeah, this will be kind of like a tuxedo bird, black and white. So now we have a fancy dancy tail going on. Then we're going to attach what's called a little punty there. We'll make the head and the beak and the wings and the little hook that it hangs by. There's the head. Let's make the hook. We're going to bring it down, hook it in, wiggle that off. Make sure it's all straight. All right, let's make some wings. I'm debating on gold fuming this. I seriously am. Throwing a little gold on it with the borax. Scoop that in. And there's wing number one. So we're working wing number two. For those of you that are doing glass, this is always the one that's always a little bit of a trouble, because it always wants to fall towards the ground with gravity. You got to be careful how quickly you pull the wings out. Otherwise they kind of fall down and don't look balanced. And there we are. Now we got double wings going. Let's park a little beak on here and some eyeballs. I'm going to pull this beak a little long so I can make the eyeballs. Okay, let's put some eyeballs on. Yeah, I think we're going to add some gold to it. We'll do a little side view. Let's go side. Seriously, go. All right, so this is what we're looking like prior to the gold. You're going to see that it's just very black. We're going to grab some gold. Oh crap, I didn't preheat my gold. That was done. I hope I have it on here. Didn't think about that too well. this is not my main gold rod. That one's empty. Oh, this one's definitely full. All right, now we're going to change that color. So this process is basically vaporizing pure gold onto the bird. And hopefully you get a little visual of the color. There. So now we got some color bouncing through it. We're going to use some borax laundry soap and just kind of enhance that color. There we go. Let's go ahead and give it some extra color. And here we go. So much for cleaning my bench. Ooh, this looks badass. Honestly, this looks badass. I'm pretty happy with it. So that totally changed that coloring with the gold. Just gave it a really unique look. I definitely like that. Got to add a little bit to the tail though. Got to do a little bit on the tail. All right, that's all good. So like that one will pop into the hummingbird grab bag basically we got going on. Because that's a unique color that we just don't do all the time. Yeah, that one kind of came out cool. What's up, Kadesh? How are you? Thank you for the gifts. All right, let's pop this gold in the kiln ahead of time. Let's see what else we got floating around in here to kind of mess with. Mess with this one. This is a cool color. This is actually extinct. It's no longer, you can't buy it anymore. They don't make it anymore. It's an old North Star color. And we'll go ahead and use it on a bird just because we're buzzing through the night tonight. Really? So we're going to use this color tonight. It was a offshoot of a teal. It was a like one-off shot color, but it's very sparkly. Back before they were really heavy into the new sparkles, this was made with a color that they used to refer to as moss. Moss was an incredibly cool green color. But they couldn't make it anymore. No, no smoking devices. I don't have a problem with the industry, I just don't do it. There are lots of good glass artists that make them, though. All right, so this one's going to be a really kind of funky, cool color. Yeah, this is going to be a nice color. We're going to go maybe a little bit bigger on the bird body and everything, just because I want to kind of make the color look pop out a little bit. Yeah, we'll go a little bit bigger on it. You can order the bird I just made, but it's more than the one in the mystery box. If you want a specific color, we can definitely do that. But the mystery box is kind of like you get what you get. It's kind of like fun, but it's less expensive because it allows us to, it kind of allows us to sell them in a bulk and not have to take individual photographs of every single bird that's an odd color. But if you want the bird I just made, Tammy, you can go ahead and message us and we can go ahead and sell that one. Okay, so we got, oh crap, wrong view. Sorry. Good night, Colleen. Oh, nothing happened to my hand. That's the filter. That's the filter. Wow, the filter's really making my hand look red, huh? No, that's just the filter. It's a little red from the item I made the glass, but it's not hurting. It's just a little red from it. I'm medium well done at the moment. Okay, let's go ahead and make this bird body, and then we'll use the new color. So this is my template for the tail. Bring that up. Make sure I got the right color. I do. This color, if I remember right, likes a specific flame. There we go. All right, let's take a look at it. I'll see if you guys can see it at all. I don't know. Remember, the side camera does have a little bit of a different hue to it. So it's not quite as vibrant, but you can kind of see the blues popping in and out of it. And that sparkle that's happening in there. Lots of sparkles. Okay, we're going to drop it there. Yeah, this is a beautiful color. I wish they remake it in some form. But they used to make it, they had this glass from Corning called gun mounts. Gun mounts were these little square glass rods that separated TV circuit boards and stuff with TVs that had tubes back in the day. So TVs used to have these tubes. And these little glass rods were used to separate stuff. Well, once tubes disappeared out of TVs, there was no more need for that glass. So they ended up discontinuing that glass, and then it disappeared. So you couldn't make certain colors anymore. All right, let's go ahead and do the wings. One more little section here. Smooth that out. And we'll bring it over to the side once I finish the second wing, and I'll show you the coloring. The wings will definitely show the color a little better. There. And we're going to smooth that out. That didn't sound good. All right, let's put the beak on here and get the eyeballs on. And we'll take a look at the color. All right, let's take a peeky and see what it looks like. There we go. So it definitely has lots of little sparkles to it. Nice little bluish hue to it. It's definitely a funky, cool color. I wish they still made this. It would be so nice. Off that cut. And that looked really good. Yeah, I like that one too. What's up, Dale? How you doing? Okay, let me pull this off here. Okay, I am going to take a short break for just a little bit. I am coming back on YouTube for sure and TikTok. But when I come back on YouTube, I am going to be on horizontal stream. So I want to set my horizontal stream. Actually, dual streaming, but it'll be in horizontal too. So I will see you all in just a little bit. I need to set it up though for a horizontal.